making the invisible visible, black women 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Okay, my name is Maab. I'm currently working at university in the climate / sustainability space, and that is something that is driven by my personal interests and passions as well. I'm very much driven by all the injustices that's happening in the world, and I kind of tie that into the work and the things that I do in my day-to-day life, recognizing how interconnected all these issues are. And outside of that, I also enjoy spending time with family, with friends, and music, and just being creative and watching, reading books, etc. So that's me. So at the moment, I'm working as a climate action coordinator. So as I mentioned, it's based at university. So my background is in environmental science, and I worked in as a sustainability coordinator before this. So I was mainly based in the university and doing engagement with staff, students, report writing, etc. But now I'm focusing more on diverse communities and how we could empower them to lead on climate action, because recognizing that they're the ones impacted the most by climate change disproportionately. So they're the ones that need to be leading. And their voices need to be amplified in these spaces, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. I wrote my dissertation about it as well back at university. My whole role is to do with my personal interests as well as my professional background. I would probably say my third year at university, when I did my placement here, I started realising what I'm really passionate about and that I actually want to drive change and amplify diverse voices and highlight the racial and environmental inequalities around the world, particularly those how it all affects countries in the global south in particular, and my heritage, my background in Sudan, and all these other countries where they're experiencing the worst of the impact, and as well as so many other challenges. So when I was on placement, I was literally the only person of colour within my team, and I was just thinking is this representative of the whole field? And it is, and I did some more research into that, and I did, like I said, my dissertation on that topic. And like I said, that's kind of when I started realising this is something that I really care about, and I want to actually make a change within it. Yeah, I feel we definitely need other young black women in the field, 100%, because I feel I don't know, maybe there's a stereotype or something when it comes to the field. Maybe certain people might feel there aren't many opportunities, but there are, because climate change is constantly being talked about and quite a topical subject at the moment. So there are more green jobs and skills that you can apply to these roles, and I feel the more representation the better, if anything, because it'll make people like me and other people feel empowered to continue driving change and working in these fields, and it will also benefit our people, our heritage, and people across the global south, people all across the world really, but the representation is what truly matters, I think. It can definitely get difficult, and you get burnt out working every single day and just being stuck in this routine. So when I get to those times, I guess just surrounding myself with people that I care about and they care about me, my close friends, for example. I don't know, for me personally, I kind of remember trying to remember how privileged I am and grateful to be in the position that I'm in today, especially I said, I'm Sudanese, so my country is actually going through the worst humanitarian crisis in the world right now. So a lot of, especially women my age, younger, older, they don't have the same opportunities that I do, and I kind of just remember that, and try and make use of my opportunities to try and bring back change, and that's why I do the role that I do, because I find it so rewarding. I feel kind of just got to live every day to, you know, help other people and just do something positive.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the invisible visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.